Dear Social Security Administration, here is the breakdown you asked me for. Please understand, after 9 years of denials, the active actions made to hide the DAC benefits from me, the large attorney's fee paid publicly to my attorney I hired to help and protect my best interest, and especially having to deal with the extremely harsh put-downs and unnecessary entitled behaviors from my narcissistic mother, I opted to file a withdrawal of application because I received 0 payments except the ones I got audited for. With 0 help from anyone, 0 payments actually allowed to keep, and 0 knowledge about the DAC I was always entitled to, I had 0 faith you were actually going to help me or allow me to collect the over $500,000 that would be owed to me. DAC stands for Disabled Adult Child as appropriate, since because you also pay the widows and caretakers benefit, also known as mother-father benefit to care for us. It ensures that we end up raising ourselves while our caretakers cash in on our dead father's accounting. It also starts the habit of what you quite appropriately call entitlement in our caretakers. These women, as you label them in detail, mothers, widows, wives, or caretakers, who are compensated for our safe care, become and start acting entitled to the benefits they received as a reward because our dads died. Ensured that entitled attitude, since they see themselves as deserved to be compensated by our existence. Not even the foster care system compensated award of the state. I wonder where that pun is hidden. So like in my case, when my mom withdrew $30,000 out of my inheritance to get married again, she was still able to collect benefits because my existence made her entitled to do so by your entitled benefit awards. I challenge your illogical system and ask how many of us DAC would become disabled adults if you stopped paying women to be one mothers and widows by awarding entitlement to our caretakers. Both my mother and her boyfriend were paid quite well for caring for children with a deceased father. In fact, my mother's boyfriend had a wife that left him to take the child beneficiary and his inheritance before he was of age, so that her husband wouldn't do the same first. Ammon is the demon you feed. Do you see what that award did to a regular married couple because a child came with a paycheck? Now even myself at age 40, you see they both have not paid into the benefit, but are wrongfully still living through existence of it. This isn't about a payoff for a DAC who is entitled, and I hope the word can see that as I live in a tent without any of my DAC benefits. This legion would prefer pigs fly rather than mammon to rule this earth another day. I waived $500,000 to use my father's name to get the message out there to stop funding this benefit that we DAC get denied, which is meant for our caretakers to use and steal by silence design. Honor the legion of DAC who sit above Mammon by birth right after death, if the father as is law. If you review the 1979 book that came out about the DAC benefit, it clearly explains how to divert it from the disabled adult child through tax credits applied. How the heir deliberately blocks us from the ability to access our records except through a paid representative. At 40, as an adult child raised from the dead father who can still assess good from evil, and abuse and neglect, I can't seem to find a single valid reason your system would do this and ensure abuse of the benefits promised us and not the swine you pay. The deceased father's child does not receive any of the much-needed prepaid help after their fathers paid their lives for us to have a childhood of emotional neglect by paid caretakers. Save time and just toss us in the street as children and keep the money. It's less trauma, and then maybe we can still have a chance at being normal adults by learning survival as kids instead of as denied, abandoned adults who everyone cashes in on and lies to about the benefit that was never meant to pay them but to pay these caregivers, to ensure they stay as trusting and ignorant as children, disabled as adults by negligence and lack of information about the existence of their rights, and the amount you pay everyone to keep them that way. My father was the world's greatest stung man and died doing his job. I wonder if he would have still risked his life if he knew what his blood money would do to his 18-month-old baby's entire life. Don't mind me, I am safely just a homeless man rambling on in a tent, so nobody will listen to me, not like I serve as a model example of your DAC and its actual disabling insurance of the working man's income. I paid more trying my mother and her boyfriend combined, and was denied any and all help when I needed it, Despite my father's Guinness Book of World Record highest paid stuntman to ever live, this is what his Social Security benefit paid for. I was wondering my application in hopes that the blood money paid for my abuse gets audited as promised from both the unmonitored widow who stole the benefit and the state agency who stole the rest and helped her do it. My main proving document, the only one allowed to me as promised, is that you allow me and nothing else is simply the benefit verification that I have 2 entitlements at $0, which is more than enough to show the truth of why I went from a working citizen to a crazy man into a tent. You paid them for making sure it was so. My dad and every dad in the USA deserves to know that the SSA truly does follow procedures since 1979, 100%. My hope isn't the pay. My wish is that you stop paying the widows and caretakers to do this to us. Give the children of America hope not to end up homeless on the streets, since without that paid benefit, there would be no incentive or reward to motivate them to handicap us in the first place. Sincerely, Landon Gray Robinson, son of Dar Robinson, the world's greatest stuntman, on behalf of all the DAC beneficiaries of the United States of America. Suicide survivor by the Moon's intervention for this purpose, and Jehovah's Witness and Hebrew birthright cost. It's anyone's full moon now as decreed by the representative of such accounting and Kalandar System 0001. When you made your new denial rule based on my application date. See 28% of my attorney's fee award. After I was dead, 10 days kept alive by machines, I tossed the $500,000 back in your face to hang from your tree. Who then can say 30 pieces of silver when the men can't hang and you get dessert? 3 days dies not even hold a candle to my fire?
Lil Ben Yom, the advocate returned in the flesh on account of Havel's return, which you already ended, July 5th, 2024, Tyson Holcrew.
There goes your tree. Since you lied about my tree of knowledge, I am hacking down the tree of life indefinitely.